Hello, and welcome to the Superhero Hub. I'm Sam,
I'm
and today we're going to be reviewing,
Gotham.
yep, the first part of the two-part season 3 finale, a of which is named Destiny Calling. Um, so yeah, Bruce is in the clink. For whatever it is he did, he was just kind of arrested. You got Jim Gordon kind of running around on that crazy on his drug. So yeah, thoughts. I thought the bit at the start with the granny going into the bank, that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I guess it was what I thought it was. It's Batman Begins light, whatever. That was fine. But what exactly have they arrested Bruce for? What could the charges be?
I don't know.
Yeah, me
That
either.
that's what I was thinking in the first place. I mean, they're kind of all over the place. I don't really know. You had him sitting there, just sitting there, kind of staring, while Alfred was also staring on the other side of the double-sided glass, just kind of, yeah. I don't really know what they arrested him for or anything like that, but I guess for slapping Alfred up, because that's what the police officers kind of saw.
I suppose. Mm.
Um, one bit that was kind of shticky that I'm glad that the kind of is that is the kind of power struggle between with Barbara and Tabitha and Butch. Is I like the Penguin and Riddler stuff. I kind of get that, but like their shtick was just I weren't interested in it. You know what I mean? It's kind of been running for like what about 9 episodes now, and
Yeah,
it's
it's
just like
especially you get
whatever.
the feeling it's a power struggle between people who are never really going to have power.
Hmm.
At least with Penguin and the Riddler, you can legitimately argue one of them's going to rule the Gotham underworld, but with the other three, you're just going to argue who's going to be the number one underling, really, aren't you? Who cares?
Yeah, well, the thing is with stuff like that. I mean, if you fast forward to the future, it's always like kind of no one ever actually kind of rules the Gotham underworld, but obviously they don't
True,
know
but I
that.
mean, like Penguin and Riddler matter, and the other three don't.
Well, Tabitha's kind of like a big character, but obviously,
And she's not.
yeah,
Come on, but it's a bat. You're talking about Batman villains. There's Penguin, there's Riddler. Don't no one care about Tabitha? She
yeah.
ain't gonna be in no movie, is she?
Well, Tigress is a bigger character than flipping Butch and Barbara. So
Well,
yeah,
not that well. Arguable once we get to the end of the second episode.
yeah. So yeah, Bruce. You had Alfred and Bruce kind of they were talking and stuff like that, and Alfred was like, "Oh yeah, I'd do anything for you. I'd die for you," and stuff like
Yeah.
that. That was kind of batty, but I kind of liked
It's
it.
all right, but Alfred's more fun when he's threatening people.
Yeah,
This version.
obvious. Alfred's jokes. So yeah, and then he kind of runs off because people come in popping off the GCPD, and
Yeah.
then oh
Bruce
yeah,
just actually does something useful for once.
yeah, he smacks the guy around the back of the head. You had um, Fish,
Oh,
kind of her and the Penguin, kind of all of a sudden decided to like double up, which I thought was random. Why Fish kind of needed Penguin, I didn't really get.
it's random that Fish is in the episode at all.
Um,
What's the point?
Well, it turns out she was trying to make a play for the Gotham underworld as well.
Fish
Which
always
was
is.
yeah, which is completely random. I mean, she hasn't featured since she hasn't been in the series from like till like the third episode. So she's been out of it for about 18 episodes, and then she randomly pops up and decides, oh yeah, so she kind of gets grabs Strange because she works out there's a cure. So if she gets a cure, she can use it to kind of be like, oh yeah, give me control of the city, and you can have the cure. So you got Gordon running after. You got
Yeah,
Gordon
I didn't
run.
like the Gordon stuff either.
Did you not?
No.
Um, No, but I guess it kind of, if you make him kind of infallible and stuff like that, I mean, I guess it kind of added like a dimension to him, even though like you didn't really get what the dimension was, because it's like, what did what did the kind of thing you got like whispering in his ear like killer and stuff like that, and it's kind of keeping it at bay. And then there's like the big kind of meeting and stuff like that. They kind of spent the whole thing chasing after Strange. They finally get the cure, and then there's like a confrontation and Gordon comes in, and then randomly the League of Shadows, as they're called in this, those turn up, and then there's a fight, and then Gordon just snaps Fishmoon's neck, which I guess worked out because, as I said, she hasn't kind of been in the series for about 18 episodes, so I figure they just killed her
Yeah, it
because
seems like the only reason they brought her in was to kill her.
yeah, to like be
But
like,
she's
look, that's
fine.
done.
But it looks like, I mean, skipping ahead, we won't get too into it, but skipping ahead to the end of the second episode, like this entire thing seems like a real setup end to the season for what will be moving closer and closer to what's going to be in the Batman world. So you need to get her out of the way in order to give, I guess, ultimately Penguin and Riddler the playing field.
Yeah, well, really, I mean, having her in it, I mean, yes, she's not like a big character, but you can throw in like original character and stuff like that. It's like Felicity Smoking Arrow. She's not
Yeah,
like
I mean, yeah, she's in the comic books. So she's not a big character,
she's
but
in the comic books now, but before when she was in Arrow, they only made her like a character in the comic books properly about a couple years ago. So she'd been on
she's a minor
Arrow.
character. But my point is, like, I don't need it to be exactly like Batman. But my point is, she's always going to be in the way, and she's always in that phase of like, oh, she could come back, so get her in and kill her, and then she's out of the way.
Yeah.
That's all she's there for.
So yeah, so Bruce obviously escaping, is kind of rolling down, and then they kind of Lucius and Alfred kind of follow him quite obviously. Bruce isn't paying attention. Trying to think what else happened. Whether because they were kind of separate episodes really, in the sense that
No, but they were literally a separate episode. It's not, they pipe it up as a two-parter. It's not a two-parter. The second episode, even the credits rolled on. They just put the two episodes together. I guess they had that weird long-ass break. I guess this is kind of the result of it. They don't want Gotham playing through until the middle of what month we're in now, June or whatever. So they've got to stick two episodes together.
yeah. So yeah, the cure's been destroyed, but in the final play of Tabitha, like the Riddler and whatever, they get hold of Jervis Tetch and they're kind of holding him for ransom because apparently his blood's like a cure. That's kind of how that ends. Then yeah, we finally get the bit that we've been waiting for, Ra's al Ghul. I'm glad they didn't. He looked good. Like what one sick bit, one bit that got me laughing that I had to rewind for is when they're talking or whatever. Then they bring Alfred in, and then Alfred's like on his knees and is like talking to Bruce, and he kind of looks at Ra's and is like, I'm glad they actually called him Ra's as opposed to Raz, and is like, all right, mate, what have you come as? That was sick. They give Alfred like the best lines. I couldn't believe it. So obviously Ra's backhands him. That really was like one of the highlights of the episode. So Bruce is still like super mind controlled, and then Ra's gives him his sword, which kind of looked cool, and then like big shock, Bruce jukes him. Gangster talk.
Why are you shocked?
Um,
Well, he's right by Lazarus Pit.
Well, I thought his head, because obviously there was a weird like camera effects or like fuzzy and stuff like that. So I thought, is he gonna break it? And it's like, nah, straight through. I was like, nah, as if he
It's
jumped
kind of
out.
cool. I don't mean to knock it, but I mean, it's like, okay, he's right by Lazarus Pit. It's literally right next to him. So, come on.
Yeah, I'm glad that they. I'm glad that they use that sort, because some people had shot like with Arrow, they were like and ahhing, but I'm glad, like, got to me, it seems like Gotham was just like, look, do whatever you want, use whatever characters, whatever things from the comics you want, as opposed to, oh,
Step back, man.
you can't do this, you can't do that. So yeah, he jukes Alfred, and that breaks him out of it. And then you got Ra's like There's like a weird bit, like how the episode ended. Like, well, one weird bit, and there's like Race is obviously in the shadows, blah blah blah, and it's like, look, you're strong enough willed to break the mind control. You'll be my heir, and then you got Bruce like, I'll never be your heir and stuff like that. And like all of like random Bruce is swinging his sword, and then like Raish's cloak just drops to the floor, like he threw his cloak at Bruce randomly. I was like, what the hell? And it
Need
was,
to vanish, bro. I
uh,
mean, it was, yeah. I'll say this: it's the most comic booky racial rule I've ever seen in live action.
yeah.
I mean, I like the one about Batman Begins, but that was very, very grounded. I wasn't into the Arrow one at all. I think it's pretty fun though.
He looked good, he sounded good, and yeah, so obviously Bruce gives Alfred the water from the Lazarus Pit, and that's pretty much how the episode ended. I was like, yo, drink it. There, I thought like he just kind of poured it on the wound. I thought they were gonna do like in the Last Crusade, where he kind of pours the water on him and then makes him drink a little, because that would have saved so much time. If Bruce poured it on the wound and then like poured it in his mouth, it would have just healed him. You know what I mean? Like there and then. So yeah, that's how the episode ended. I thought there was a couple good bits in there. This whole leave thing and all that stuff. One bit that annoyed me is when they kind of go back to the house, they smooch, and then like he goes to get her with whatever, and yeah, I think
That entire storyline's and not working with me at all. I mean, I think by the end of the second episode, it looks like she's gone. She needs to go.
yeah. So let's talk numbers.
7.5.
Oh come on, man.
What?
Um,
I like the racial rule stuff, but other than that, part two was better.
um, I've got to be real, yo. I've got to give it an 8.
Give, come on, man, you give it a point.
I meant an 8.5. I meant to say 8.5. My mind went blank. I'll give it an 8.5. There was, yeah, good bits were few and far between, and I mean, I'll give the run at the
You give good
if
bits for few and far between.
if
8.5.
if you knocked all the good bits out, I would have given it probably a 7, a 7.5. But if you add the good bits in, then that tots it up to an 8.5.
That
In,
makes no sense.
in my mind. Well, I don't want to. I'll go into it, but I wouldn't want to bore you. So yeah, I'm Sam,
Right, on that.
and we will see you for the second part, the superhero hub.